These are outstanding people that are very well known, highest level, so we could make a fast decision.
Before the trip next week, you think possibly?
Even that is possible.
I would strongly urge the administration to pick someone who is completely apolitical, who doesn't come out of the political process.
It should be a law enforcement professional. This position has never been politicized. I hope the president won't choose a political nominee.
So I would encourage the president to pick somebody we can all rally around, including those who work in the FBI.
There you hear some sights and sounds from the looking forward to the FBI director nomination. We thought there were getting fewer. By Friday, we heard 4 were going to be interviewed, but we have now seen that list has expanded. Who was interviewed on Saturday? There you see the list, the acting FBI director, Senator John Cornyn, others in this list, as well as other possible candidates we've heard about, the former Justice Department lawyer, Ray Kelly, former NYPD commissioner, and Trey Gowdy as well, not to mention Merrick Garland, who has come up numerous times. Let's bring in our panel. Michael Scherer, Washington Bureau Chief for Time. A.B. Stoddard, Associate Editor at Real Clear Politics. Molly Hemingway, Senior Editor at The Federalist. And Daniel Halper, Contributing Editor to the Washington Free Beacon. I tell you, Michael, it was interesting to read your piece in Time, the interview happening just before the decision came out or hit the air. And you said that he was expressing, the president was, some anger about that prior to the day before.
Yeah, we spent about 2.5 hours with him Monday night. He makes this announcement on Tuesday. Comey never came up. We didn't talk about the FBI specifically, but there was a deep sense of grievance the president had throughout the evening, and it was directed at anyone who was talking about Russia. He was really particularly upset at the Sally Yates testimony that day, the Jim Clapper testimony. He actually ran it through with us and his TiVo, showing key parts of it and then giving color commentary. I think the reporting we've gotten since then, that's mostly blind reporting, it's anonymously sourced reporting, that he is personally very frustrated. I can basically confirm it for having seen it, not in the context of Comey specifically, but that anger and wanting to do something about it, wanting to take action to deal with this situation is very real. And I'm not even sure that this replacement will fully ameliorate it.
Yeah. Daniel, you look at that list, and does anybody jump off the page for you in the current environment?
Well, you can see the appeal of somebody like Cornyn, right? You assume a senator, it's a very clubby place, he's Republican, easy to get confirmed. The downside, I think, to having somebody so political, as those politicians all expressed, is it becomes even more political. I mean, for Democrats at this point, it's not about Comey as much as it is about Trump, and it's all about attacking Trump and using every instrument at their disposal. But I think returning the FBI director to somebody who's not a household name, to somebody who's just competent, might actually benefit the Bureau and might benefit sort of this competency in government, and that might, in a way, you can see calm things down and might be more suitable.
Molly?
Well, I think back to the interview, one of the things I thought was interesting that Trump was agitated about, this testimony from Clapper where he all but admits he's one of the leakers when he's asked point blank if he has leaked any information, and he says, well, I don't think it's leaking if it's non-classified information. This would not be surprising to reporters who cover this general issue. So I imagine he will continue to be upset, but it speaks to the importance of getting someone who knows how to tamp down some of the excesses of our intelligence agencies. So when I saw the name Mike Rogers on there, I thought that didn't look very good, because he did not a great job with the Benghazi investigation. He was very friendly to intelligence sources there in a way that sort of failed to hold them accountable. So that would be the type of person you'd want to stay away from.
A.B., I was interested in the Merrick Garland thing, and I bring it up again because Orrin Hatch apparently came up with the idea first and called the White House directly. He's obviously the Supreme Court nominee that President Obama put forward and was put on ice as in one of the moves that many people argue got President Trump elected by Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader. Now Mike Lee has signed on. Now McConnell has signed on. Is this gaining traction here?
I think it could, and I think there's a possibility he gets bipartisan support. But I do think there will be a push by people like Senator Graham, who is on the Judiciary Committee, to appoint somebody from within, someone who understands the sense of upheaval at
And
the
culture of
agency
the
right
FBI.
now, exactly how it works, and can not be a household name. And I just think that's really going to be a push. So instead of someone from the outside coming in, having a learning curve, that someone who knows exactly what the cross currents have been in the last particularly couple of years, through Comey, post-Comey, I have a feeling that that is probably likely to be a pick that would get the most support at this point.
Michael, one of the things that came up today was about the statement that President Trump said to Lester Holt, that he was told that he was not under investigation, was not the target. Senators Feinstein or Grassley, then Feinstein, talked about that in a roundabout way, and Senator Warner was asked about it today. Take a listen.
On Tuesday, the president's letter said that Director Comey told him he was not under investigation. Senator Feinstein and I heard nothing that contradicted the president's statement.
I very much appreciate what you said, and it's very accurate, and we were briefed.
Did Comey ever tell you, as he apparently told Senators Grassley and Feinstein?
I'm not going to get into the specifics of what Director Comey has talked with me about.
If you have been told that he is not a target of the investigation for the good of the country, shouldn't you tell us that?
Yes. I believe for the good of the country, it's also important that I keep classified information classified.
Anything about that?
You know, we've known for a long time that there's a lot of smoke here. There's never been any evidence of fire. But we also know that President Trump has, from the beginning of this investigation, even when it wasn't officially announced last year, tried to push away the issue completely. I interviewed him in December, early December, when he was president-elect, and he said, I think the intelligence agencies are politically motivated. This whole idea, back then his line was, this whole idea that the Russians had anything to do with the hacking, there's no evidence for it. So his view has moved, and the investigation has moved quite a bit in the last few months. Now, I think it is fair to say that what everyone said on that tape is true right now. We don't have any evidence that President Trump himself is under investigation. There is evidence that people in his former circle have suspicion swirling around them.
And Comey testified to that the campaign.
And we also know that the investigation is not complete. Everyone who's talked about this or been briefed on it has said, well, there's still more to do, and we're still pursuing this investigation.
Molly, but let me ask you about the Democrats. They are going to move on something. They're going to either stand united and say special prosecutor or we're not moving forward. They're going to do a host of things, probably starting tomorrow into Tuesday.
And obstruction has worked out really well for them. At the same time, I'm not sure if that's the most brilliant idea, because I think Republicans would like to see a consensus pick. They would like to restore this integrity and faith in the FBI. And if the Democrats just say they're going to fight anyone, then it gives Republicans an excuse to just pick anyone who will get a simple majority. It also sort of supports the Trump narrative that the FBI is in chaos. So continuing the FBI being in chaos is not necessarily something that will be helpful to people opposed to Trump.
Quickly, A.B.
I think the Democrats have to stop promoting gridlock and obstruction, and they need to stop talking about impeachment. This, as Michael was talking about, this is an investigation. You can't reach the conclusion until the investigation is complete. So blowing off this investigation is a mistake politically for Republicans and Trump, but Democrats are misguided if they think that they can blow up the Senate and talk about impeaching President Trump when people need a new FBI director and these probes are ongoing.